Why is it that best students in the class are not always the most successful ones later in life? You and I have been thinking about it. And a few days ago, I was talking to my students at the university in Nepal, and I told them that just because you best grades, you are not guaranteed that you'll be the most successful of all. And my students did not like whatever I said, but I'm fine with that because I've seen it myself. And I started thinking about it. Why? And my first conclusion is the average students, one thing they do great is that they build a great network because they are not entirely focused on getting the best grade. They don't want to be the topper, or maybe they know that they cannot be the top in the class. Instead, they do something else. Like here in Nepal, at least in the university where I teach, the average students have time to engage in so many other activities apart from whatever is taught in the class. And what that does is they build a great network. Now, now you might say, well, what does the network do? Now, I want to bring you example of a famous person, but not necessarily in a positive way. One person went by the name Jeffrey Epstein. Although you might have thought so much negative about him, but one thing we can't deny is he was that successful because he had the network. And if you've got a great network, most likely you'll be successful because all the successful people that we've seen around, they're successful because there were people that were there for things they wanted to do. That's my first conclusion. The second one is we always thought that life gives you more if you work hard. And we always grew up, I think all around the world, we grew up with the thought that if you work really hard and if you are the topper in the class, you're gonna get the best job, everything best for you. Now, that is not true. Again, so what is at play here? Personally, I think what's going on here. For me, I think life. No, for me, life is not a linear path. You know, you are best in the school. You go to college, you are best. Go to university, you are the best. You go to masters, you are the best. But you go out in the world, it's not. So the average student, they go through more hardships than the ones at the top. And for me, life is about luck plus your ability to handle pressure. And one thing almost all successful people do well is that they can handle pressure, they can handle hardships. I do not mean they do not panic, but what I've seen among successful people is they have greater ability to handle anything that comes their way. Two things. The third one is, do we really have what it takes to be successful in whatever field you want to go. Because many people don't. They try, oh, this is not for me, and then they leave. And these days, there's so much talk about discipline and all those things. I agree. Because now our focus or temperament, whatever you want to call it, is so short that we cannot go on doing one thing for very long. And for these students who are top in the class, they don't really experiment. That's why I think it doesn't work the best. Right. All right. That's it from my side today. Bye bye.